All right, let's talk a little bit about society today. I'm going to share something that really hit me early this morning. One of the things I've learned is that your day gets a lot easier when you have a priority set. And when you can take care of yourself, you can start to take care of others. Like I told a friend earlier, when you don't understand who you are for you, rather than who you are as a insert job title, insert family role, insert XYZ. You don't know how to take care of anyone, and you can't lead anyone if you don't know how to take care of yourself, if you don't know how to take care of others, if you don't know what to do with your day. Now today, as I was going through Bible study, one of the things that stuck out was Proverbs 29:11. A fool always loses his temper, but a wise person holds it back. Now, when you know who you are, you understand that you're probably a good person. You're not your job. You are not your boss's lackey. You are not your salary. You're not your paycheck. You're not only a father, or not only a mother, not only a child. You are who you are. Take away everything else, it relies on everyone else, right? Like if you're based on a job, you're either who your customers pay you for, who your boss hired you for, if you take away your spouse, like who you are as a partner, versus who are you as you. When was the last time you looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I like me, I take care of me? And when was the last time you looked at yourself and said, I do things for me? You probably struggle with this idea of taking care of yourself because you're so used to taking care of everyone else, other people's things. Your job is probably putting out fires for other people, like mine is. Your job is probably taking care of relationships, like you can be in like when you're married or partnered, as my friend says, partnered, unpartnered. You're taking care of someone else. But when was the last time you ever looked at yourself and said, this is who I am, this is what I want, and this is what I need? When you start to look away from who you are, what is it you want, what is it you need, what happens? You get frustrated, right? When you're frustrated, it's not about, no one's sane. If you're watching this, I hope you're sane. Legal disclaimers that I am not a psychiatrist, therapist, anything, licensed professional. This is for your education only. But I shouldn't have to do that every time. Like, come on. Like, this is a certification and that's a bachelor's. I'm not a medical professional. I am a professional with 11 plus years in the mental health industry, having worked in sales, marketing, leadership development, and what's it called? I was gonna say learning and development training, but leadership development is what it is. And I come back to, and it made me sit on Proverbs 29:11. A fool always loses his temper, but a wise person holds it back. If you're wise, you understand who you are and you know what you're about. You don't have to get angry and upset every time something bothers you. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and said, I like me for me? And you took that energy throughout your day. Versus when you look in the mirror and you say, I hate my job. I'm not happy in my relationship. My friends suck. My life sucks. My business sucks. All this sucks. And then how's that going to affect your day? You start to take it out on everyone else. You start to look at everything from that perspective of, you're trying to bother me. You're trying to make my day worse. Don't you already see that my day's blah, 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 blah. My day's already bad. Why are you trying to make it harder for me? I guarantee you, if you're not going out of your way to annoy people, if you're not going out of your way to bother people, you're not going out of your way to make someone else's day worse, no one else out there is trying to make your day worse. I guarantee you, people have better things to do. Your spouse, your parents, your siblings, your friends have better things to do than worry about if they're making your day worse. And if that's what they're concerned about, you're doing something wrong in life. If their focus is, how do I not upset you? For like about a year and a half, my wife and I were struggling in our relationship because I couldn't handle my emotions. I couldn't take care of myself. I was someone who, as a fool, lost my temper and didn't hold it back like a wise person does. I kept getting jealous. I kept being angry. I kept lashing out based on the fact that like, I'm supposed to feel these emotions and I'm going to let it go and speak on it because I have to let it out. My question for you is that if you're going to let it out, what is the solution you're also bringing to the table? So often we get caught up and focused on how do I bring up a problem, but we never come up with a solution. Like whenever I do leadership training or development or working with new staff, I look at it and say, okay, you brought up a problem. What is your proposed solution? what is it that would actually come of this? When you bring up a problem, when you vent your anger like a fool, the difference between venting and problem solving is the solution. One awesome thing my wife has given me that I think we give to one another is that we will vent with one another, not at one another. And it's usually never about me and her. Like, when's the last time you actually complained to someone about the thing you're complaining about? You're usually going to vent to someone else. You're going to gossip and chisme on that to someone else and not come up with a solution, right? But with my wife, whenever something bothers her, whenever something bothers me, we give each other the opportunity to say, hey, let it out, let it go. But as soon as it starts to get like anger or a really bad emotion where it starts to get heightened, where you know it's not going to stop, that's when we tell each other, is this going to help? Last time she shut me down like, hey, you're venting it out. Have you let it go? No? Okay, continue. Like, just let it out. Let it all go because we're going to leave it here. I did it, but then she was like, okay, you're still thinking about it. And if you can tell me to stop thinking about it, I'm going to tell you stop. Not like stop venting, stop being you, stop anything like that, but rather there comes a point where you need to say, this is not going anywhere. I've let it out. That's all I can do. If I don't have a solution for it, let it go. And yeah, you're going to still be upset. You might still feel angry. You might still feel mad, sad, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, a fool always loses his temper, but a wise person holds it back. The solution is right there. If you are venting and venting and venting, but you're not coming up with a solution, what was the purpose of venting? I feel a little bit better. Okay, you can go do illegal things in a back alley of somewhere when you're sad, but what is the solution there? You might feel a little better, but then later down the road, you're like, I wish I didn't do that. You can go bar hopping and, as I used to call it with a friend, eggplant hunting, and go do that. But is that going to make you feel better? No. You can sedate, you can numb. But the problem isn't that you feel these things. The problem is that you don't know the right way to express them. And the solution is 1, Bible, 2, meditating, journaling. Take a moment to write those feelings out. Take a moment to sit down with a pen and paper, or if you want, the Warrior app. There's guided meditations in there based on the science of 10 plus years of Garrett White's training with 50,000 plus men, myself included. Having worked in the mental health industry, it's literally everything we teach you. I teach budding therapists. It's literally everything I teach new hires, case managers, social workers, licensed therapists, as I train them appropriately, legal people, in how we interact and document in mental health. So if it works for me, having 11 plus years in mental health care, also being a dude who suffered from anger issues, I don't identify with my anger, who was raised in an enmeshed Asian culture where it was difficult to break out of the enmeshment with your parents, especially men to moms, like, because they'll always take care of you, but other people aren't always going to take care of you. It's going to work for you. Pray about it. When you're angry, when you're sad, when you're feeling those emotions, you can let them out like me and my wife share with one another. Vent it out. Sometimes you need to speak it out loud. But at the end of the day, you need to stop and ask yourself, what is the solution I'm looking forward to here? Otherwise, you're just a fool, spouting out energy and effort and words for nothing. It's like I tell my friends who are dating, like, what is the point in turning your car on to just sit in a garage with the garage door open? Again, legal people. Like, what's the point in turning your car on if you're not going to drive it anywhere? What's the point of getting your engine started if it's not going to go anywhere? What's the point in getting angry and upset and venting over something that you're not going to actually solve a problem with? Yeah, it might feel nice for a moment, but after that moment's gone, what are the long-term repercussions? And you might not feel the long-term repercussions because you don't understand how it works. And that's where this app comes in handy. If you want it, go sign up below. You can get it on the App Store. You can do that, but I'm not going to coach you through that. That's just on your decision. Or you can get it at a better rate, better investment, and you invest with a coach who's going to respond to you on our coaching platform in the app. Meditating, planning, That's what it is. So like our venting sessions, that's a planned thing. It's not like we're going to plan to get upset so we can vent about it. It's rather, we have a system in place where if I need to vent, she needs to vent. We do it. We let it go. We move on. And then there's checks and balances. Now that you've done it, are you good? We're going to move on. We're going to leave it here. Cool. Same thing in the app. There's meditative guidance and there's goal planning for the week, month, year, whatever it may be that's focused on. Actually, they all come together. So it's all of the above: annual, monthly, weekly, daily planning. But one of the things that's really helped me in life is that reflective journaling. Because everything you do is based on a story. When you vent, it's based on a story. The person you're upset about, the thing you're upset about, the thing you're sad about, it's a story in your head. When you're done venting, when you're done explaining, when you're done working, there's a story in your head. How do you rewrite the stories in your head to give you a solution rather than just sitting in the problem? And at the end of every single meditative session, you sit there and it says, what is the lesson you've learned from this stack journaling? Now that you've taken that lesson, what is a single thing you can do? Awesome. Do you want to add that to your list of to-do things? Yes, no. Yeah, okay. Anything else? And the best part about this is you don't need me there every single time. You don't need to hire a therapist every single time you have a problem. You go to the app, you get the stack that you need, the journal you need, the meditative session you need, and you just go through it. You just write it out. And it's all right there. Rather than having like stacks and stacks and stacks of papers, here it is in the app. And you can go back to it. Actually, every day, it gives you back a journal. And there are days where I did a really angry journal. I did a really anger stack, a rage stack. And I look at it and I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't act on this emotion. I'm glad I chose to take that energy and focus it towards a solution. And that's what you need to do. A fool gives full life to their anger, but a wise person holds it back. You can use that energy to do something productive or destructive. The choice is yours. You get to write the story. The point of this video is that whenever you are in those situations, when you look at yourself and you say, is this who I am? Is this all I am? You're not your venting. You're not your job. You're not only a husband, only a father, only a child. You are wonderfully and beautifully created by God. So why not live a purposeful life based on that idea? Everything you need from this video is in the description below. I hope you have a great day. Hope you start to live a day that builds up towards that great life of yours. Full of peace, love, and light. This is Laurence with Candle. Good morning, good afternoon, good night from wherever you're watching this. Until next time, have a great one.